What's up, boys?
What's up? Welcome back to the Retic Rebellion Podcast, episode 15. Can you believe it?
15 already, man.
It's a little bit different setup. I'm here with Bill.
Hello.
I'm live and in person in Arizona today.
Yeah, we were all three supposed to get together, but
yeah. How are you feeling, Levi? He's not feeling himself today.
I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Oh shit, dude!
So
I'm telling you, 2 episodes from Hutch, yo. That, by the way, if you guys don't know who Hutch is like an OG from the original Sex and Flexing days. That boy fun.
Man, Hutch, nice cock. That was a nice cock.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I was distracted by it. But let's not bury the lead. We have a guest here with us tonight. What's going on, Jesse from Front Range SD&Ds? All right, I like that. How are you doing?
Good, man. How are y'all?
Good. So where are you hailing from? Where are you calling us from? Where are you coming in from?
I'm just outside of Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, sweet. All right.
We were talking about that.
No, you go ahead, Levi. Sorry about that. I'm stepping all over you.
Oh no, I was going to say. Me and Jesse were talking about that a little bit backstage. I mean, I'm from Colorado. He's in Colorado. Not too far from where I grew up, too.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, small world.
Well, right.
You know, for the longest time, real quick, do we have such a bad delay?
Is it years?
I don't know.
Lee, you are like severely delayed, bro.
Is it any better now?
Kinda. We're like 5 seconds ahead of each other. I don't know what in God's green earth is going on right now.
Well, it can't be the Texas to Arizona connection because I'm in Arizona. So it's Arizona to Arizona issues now.
I'm not getting too
Seems
much
to
of
be
a delay.
smoothing out.
Okay. There we go. I think we're good now. All right, Lee, go ahead.
Okay. I just won't move. Anyway, so what got you into super dwarfs and dwarf retics?
So I've always loved snakes. I've always had at least one. A lot of times had multiple. Had kind of everything from colubrids to ball pythons, and I've always loved retics. But just never had the space, or I guess kind of the confidence, just with knowing what it requires. So especially with YouTube coming out and being able to expand my horizons, I got to get a little bit more educated on some of the locality stuff, and it really just sparked something in me. And I love interactive, curious, go-getter snakes, and I think retics kind of fit that bill. My wife would all animals that are more on the energetic side. So my dogs, if you know what they are, they're Belgian Malinois, and they don't get tired, they just get hot. The horses that I have, they're primarily Arabians, which if you ask most people in the horse world, they say they're crazy.
Should I go to my phone, dude?
No, I don't think it's.
Okay. So, real quick, believe it or not, man, for the longest time, I didn't think that you could own retics in Colorado. So that's interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for some reason I thought they were on the ban list.
No, thankfully not. Colorado probably has the worst venomous laws in the state. That the law actually says no venomous, including rear fang venomous, which is a shame. But yeah, we can have all the retics. You can. I mean, if any constrictor escaped, there would be a population of that many until the next snowstorm, and then there'd be zero.
Right, exactly. Colorado's like that ideal winter temps where nothing's really going to survive it.
Yeah, I mean, rattlesnakes survive it because they just figure out how to get deep quick. So
yeah, but I mean, you're talking a rattlesnake to a retic, you're talking a third of the size of the animal. You know what I mean? They can take over a rodent's nest. They can figure out a gopher hole. They can, get down trying to get a 10-foot snake down that deep. It's just not going to happen. They're going to end up passing away in the winter.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what else? What else do you keep away from the retics? So you got into retics because they're more energetic. Sounds like you got the confidence. What else do you got going in the collection still, or did you completely get rid of everything to do this?
So I have I have other snakes. So we have a red-tailed boa, Mexican black king snake, a couple other colubrids, a Solomon Island ground boa.
Okay.
In terms of snakes, I mean, primarily the retics. I mean, I have two males that are breeder ready. My breeding female, another female that's about to hit breeding. I did a lot with isopods and scorpions. So I have a sizable space that's devoted to that, which I keep rethinking and kind of want the space for retics. So we'll see how that ends out.
Okay, that's pretty awesome, man. I've recently gotten into isopods.
Sorry, BRB.
We were talking about earlier.
All right. Is this better?
That's so much fucking better.
Sweet. All right. That's good. Now I'm going to go grab my charger. So I will BRB. You guys keep it going. Hold down the fort.
So, yeah, I recently got into isopods, man. I found out a lot of benefits that they carry, and they help with the reticulated pythons. Do you keep them in your retic enclosures or no?
So, yeah, let's see. I started 1, 2, 3. I have 3 of my retic enclosures that started out as like the bioactive and everything, and you cannot keep plants growing in there. They just like trash the daylights out of them. They're just too heavy. And the other thing though is their body weight. Unless you have this giant enclosure that they're not going to be on the ground a lot, they pack down that soil a lot. So I put cork bark in and stuff, and it helped a lot. They also like to go underneath the water to seek out the moisture. And for 2-ish years, 3 years, I didn't clean it once and it never stank. I think I would like mix up the soil and add a little bit more like peat moss and sand and kind of recharge the soil a little bit. But in terms of like cleaning it out and everything, never, man. But I did empty it out and go to cocoa fiber for 2 of the males, and we'll see how that goes. But one of my females is still in it, but I actually have a lot of other stuff. So like I have a hide that I have attached to the ceiling, and she spends a lot of time in there. So the isopods do pretty good in there, and they'll feed on waste, they'll feed on shed skin. So I never took a shed out of there, and it would be gone in a week.
Dude, for real,
actually, I feed a lot of
everything but the belly scales.
Yeah, that's
so fucking
weird.
That's
the weird part. Yeah, it's frustrating because you have all this like almost like little insect-looking shell things with the belly scales. But isopods actually love the baby sheds just because they're so soft all around. So I mean, dairy cows especially, they'll just explode on them because they're so protein hungry.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll take any of the smaller retics I have in my collection and drop them in like my main batch of them, and they're gone. Dude, when the mainland sheds, it's actually pretty fun because I can sit there and like section it. Like I'll section the shed out, so that way I'm stocked for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Throwing in like big old chunks of the shed, and dude, they destroy that shit, man.
Yeah. I had one full shed from my big female, and I haven't gotten one since. And I've tried everything from like jacking the humidity up to letting her soak for a while. It's hard to get full big sheds from big snakes.
Dude, I've noticed the only way that I've gotten the two big ones to give me a really clean shed is to either soak them right when they go in blue or put the Costco size tub in their enclosure with them so they can fully submerge and stay submerged. Because I've noticed they will get into the water and they won't get out until the day before or the day of their shed. Like they just intake all that water. So that's the only way I've ever done it. Outside of that, if like they have like a water dish they can slightly get into, not fully submerge it, I've never had good success with that. But yeah, jumping up humidity, they're just too damn big, dude. That humidity, I mean, it helps, but it doesn't really do enough for them, I don't think. Because think about where they're from in Indo. They're found in the fucking rivers. You know what I mean? I don't know. Could you argue that they're semi-aquatic?
I mean, they love water. They're great swimmers. I don't think that's their primary environment, but you know, from what I've seen and what I've read and everything, they can actually hold their breath for a very decently long time, like 20, 30 minutes plus. So don't go swimming in your local lakes with your retics.
Yeah,
that'd be a hell of a story.
All of them have been soaking in their tubs recently. All of my retics love soaking in their water dishes, water tubs, all that stuff. Especially the big ones around shed time. They'll just live in that until they shut out.
I have some that do. I have some that don't. I give them a big. You guys have seen my tubs in there. I give them a tub they can fully not stretch out, but that they can soak in and move around and not be so tight. I like to give them a bigger tub to swim in and soak. But I have some that do, and some that, most of the time shed time, yes, but some will just live in them and some of them won't. It's here and there with mine.
Yeah.
Dude, some of these damn retics be getting me. I don't know if you've dealt with this yet, Jesse, but I'll go in like one day I'll health check, the next day I'll health check, water tub, right? Third day they're in the water tub. They just recently shed. Water tub again on the fourth day. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? I swear to God, if I have mites, I'm gonna freak the out. I should pull them out, check the water dish. What I'll do is I'll strain it, and then I'll put a paper towel on the bottom, like where the water's coming out of, to like double strain it to catch anything. Nothing. Just fucking semi-aquatic snakes, man. Drives me up the wall. They, like you were saying, they live in the fucking water dish.
Yep.
Sometimes with the babies, if some of them don't have the greatest shed, I'll actually put paper towels down and wet the paper towels, and they seem to shed better with that than soaking them sometimes. At least that's what I've seen. Because I mean, the soaking does great, and it almost like does that. The little wrinkles on your fingers, it almost like does that to them to the degree it can. But the wet paper towel, it's almost like it jacks the humidity to like 100% without them actually being in water. And so I've had some pretty good luck with that as well.
Okay.
And of course, I have something small and that they can like rub against. So actually, what I've done is I'll section out PVC pipes for all the babies, and they seem to love it because they can, kind of drape themselves on top of it. They'll go inside the middle and coil up, and it's a good little, and there's that rough part on it. And so it's a good little enrichment piece. I mean, there's so many different ways you can enrich stuff. I mean, there's the little plastic, like, ladder looking things, and you can get some of those nicer, expensive tubs that have all the climbing options. But I mean, if you don't have a giant budget and you have more snakes than you expect, you get creative, and that way's worked pretty well for me. So.
No, that's awesome. You know what I do with PVC pipe is I'll run a string from one side of the enclosure to the other, and then I'll put the string through the PVC pipe so they have something to climb over, and then they have something to climb inside of. Dude, that's freaking awesome that you do that.
No.
Yeah, and actually my bioactives that I made for my males, so I'll actually drill holes very like that, and I'll go like back and forth a couple times on one side with hemp rope, and they like going through that. Just give them something to play with.
Huh. Okay. I might have to steal that.
Don't put it over water because it like gets a little nasty.
Oh, dude, I use paracord because it's like damn near indestructible, and it sometimes they'll like undo the knot from climbing up where it's attached. They like to perch up there like green tree pythons, and they'll loosen it and it'll fall in the water. And God damn it! Now I gotta, I got you.
Yeah.
So Dana's got a question. Did you start with snakes or farming first?
So definitely our farming animals before breeding. So we have 10 horses, 3 goats, 6 chickens, 3 dogs, 6 cats. Some of them, well, they're inside outside. Some of them don't come inside at all. We've never had a mouse problem. I mean, between like retic smell and cats everywhere, this is probably the scariest place in the world for a mouse. So we don't have any problems with that. But yeah, I've definitely dealt with baby horses more than I've dealt with baby snakes. So I guess now I can't say that. I've had a lot more baby snakes than I've had baby horses.
I imagine the baby horse is a lot harder though.
Yeah, they're bigger. If they throw a fit, that's a lot of weight getting thrown around. If they bite, they got a lot of pressure. They don't have sharp teeth, but they got pressure teeth.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been bitten by a horse. It's not a fun time.
Yeah, I have a baby now, and he's real mouthy. He'll bite, and just for the fun of it. And I was doing his feet the other day, and he kept just like biting my back.
Horse bites are no joke either. They are no joke.
Nope, not at all.
It's funny how that number.
So which
grows
one do you?
really
Which one do you prefer? If, let's say, right, hypothetical situation, snakes got banned in Colorado, or farming got banned, and you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
I don't know, man. That's tough. I'd just probably break the laws, but man, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to think of life without either one. Horses are definitely a lot more expensive. So I don't know if I can say one or the other. I mean, I've put my heart and soul into both. So, yeah, it's kind of a sad thing to think about, but yeah, I'd definitely be breaking the law. It's probably, you know what though? It's probably easier to hide a snake than it would be to hide a horse. So,
facts.
Yeah, that's bad. Well, I mean, depending on the size of the snake, but I mean, regardless, it'd be a lot easier to stick it away somewhere. Someone came and looked at your shit.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's a good segue into my next question, though, is how do the two intermingle together? Like, how is it having snakes and the farm life? And what, like, I guess, where do they crisscross, right? Like, do you use the chickens as feeders? Are you able to? Do you plan to? You know, so on and so forth.
Yeah, actually, so the baby chicks that we get, when we raise them up, it's hard to tell if they're going to be hens or roosters, and you really can't have a bunch of roosters together. You're going to have cockfights, and they're going to beat up each other. And so actually, once we find out which ones are roosters, those become dinners. So they certainly don't go to waste. I mean, you know, people who do raise chicks, they'll say, you know, if you have roosters, you know, I'll take them back or whatever. But you know, who knows what they do with them? So you know, I think it's a great option, and it provides a little bit of an enrichment option for your snake to have something different than, you know, their normal rat or rabbit or whatever size they're eating.
Okay.
So that's definitely some crossover. When I'm dumping stuff though, we have a big manure pile, so a little bit of snake manure certainly doesn't hurt with some cocoa chips or whatever. add to the fertilizer maker pile.
Do you have better yield in your crops now?
Yeah, so we actually had a pretty big, really nice garden this year. And so, I mean, we've made flower gardens, we've made vegetable gardens, some incredible sunflower gardens, and actually a front lawn and a back lawn, all with the manure pile stuff, old manure piles. So they're kind of on like a couple different piles on a couple year rotation. And man, that stuff gets so green. The fruit and vegetables just. So.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Your reptile poop is good for your garden.
Wasn't it you that told the other that wasn't true? With the potato incident?
What?
Wasn't it you with the potato incident?
I don't know what you're talking about. What's a potato?
Fair enough.
She might be watching, okay, Levi? Let's go ahead and let sleeping dogs lie while we will, all right?
You still never mind. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, so that's pretty cool that you do that, Jesse, because I just introduced my wife to like an idea of that, of taking like the mainland's enclosure when I clean her shit out, is to just take all the substrate that's left over and just use it throughout the garden.
Gotcha. But yeah, so, you know, I actually just looked it up just to make sure, but yeah, snake waste is actually very high in nitrogen, so it's very useful for soils and manures. So yeah, if you guys, if everyone out there wants to save the white stuff and the brown stuff, they can certainly compost it and add it to their gardens.
Well, consider that myth busted.
Maybe wash your tomatoes before you put them in your salad.
Yeah.
Wash your potatoes too.
Just wash them really good. Possibly scrub them. I don't know.
How big is your garden that you have out there? Is it you mentioned several gardens? Did you set a flower garden at one point, or is there different gardens?
Yeah, so we have a couple different ones. We have more like a mulch garden. We have a lot of stuff in there. Everything from your regular flowers. Kelly, what are those flowers that always come up that you really like? What are they? The orange ones?
Did he just say Kelly?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my wife.
No, that's my wife. My wife's Kelly.
Kelly,
what are you doing?
I'm not the flower person, but I have like blueberry bushes in there. We have mint, a couple of evergreen bushes, and then we have like a more like a xeriscape type garden. In there we have Russian sage. You guys probably have a lot of that out in Arizona. A lot of actually we have what are they called? Prickly pear cactuses. Okay, we have a lot of prickly pears, and what we'll do is we'll actually harvest the prickly pears and make prickly pear margaritas with the syrup that we make. And then we have, cool. Yeah, it's good. My wife likes it a lot. It's fun to make the syrup. You can put it on ice cream too, and but it did make damn good margaritas. Then let's see, we had sunflowers that were probably like, man, maybe 100 foot by 10 foot, like just a long strip of sunflowers. And we had our vegetable garden that was probably about the same. We grew okra, snap peas, tomatoes, radishes, beets, and turnips were just like and lettuce. We didn't go to the grocery store at all for any vegetables that entire the entire summer. That
was my next question.
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Do you grow anything to feed the farm animals that you have?
Well, we also have a bunny. So actually, the bunny will get some of the lettuce because we couldn't eat the lettuce fast enough. So bunny got a lot of lettuce.
Wait, is that the name of the animal or is it an actual bunny?
The bunny, his name's Chester.
Okay. You can see where I was a little confused.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're pretty dry out here. So, we kind of have to make our own soil and we can't really rely upon water. It's like we have a little pond too, and sometimes that thing will be overflowing and sometimes it'll be bone dry. It's pretty fun actually when there's a lot of water. It's like frogs and toads like crazy, and big tiger salamanders like that big, like 6-7 inches long, and like we'll find them all over the place. And but then there'll be some summers that you don't see any. So, but I usually you'll see salamanders late into the season, like right before a freeze or something. I'll walk outside and there'll be a salamander, so I'll like snatch it up and throw it in an enclosure to let it go the next year, just so it doesn't freeze out there.
Nice. I think that's one of Kelly's favorite animals, the salamander.
My say, bro, if you want to see dry, come out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh my God, you guys left me wide open for a joke. You're lucky we have a guest. You are lucky we have a guest.
So that's pretty cool. You got a pond too. How many acres you got?
10. So not the biggest, but
that's a lot.
But plenty of room. The horses have nice big pasture. It's a lot when you have to fix fences, that's for sure.
Salamander hunting. Yeah, I used to hunt those salamanders too. We had them in Indiana. They were in the wheel wells, always collected in the wheel wells in the new subdivisions and stuff. Black with blue spots, purple spots, even some that were had orange and yellow spots. And they were big too, man. They were like this big.
Damn. I don't think I've ever seen salamanders wild.
I have in Colorado.
Nice.
They're more of like they're a cold weather state animal. They more come out in the winter than they do the summer. Depending on the species, I should say.
Yeah. That's sick though. That is pretty sick.
When you said wheel wells, I was like, hey, you find them in your cars? Like, what the fuck?
No, window wells. Yeah, sorry, wheel wells.
So, I mean, I'll kind of dig into a little more. So do you produce like enough to like self-sustain your family, or like what are the things that you still have to kind of go out and get that you're not able, I guess, either not able or not producing yet to eliminate that off the grocery list?
So, I mean, we were pretty good with vegetables all all summer. I don't think we bought anything. We didn't do any potatoes though, so if we wanted anything like that, we'd have to go out. But we're planning another big garden year. Meat. There was so I do a lot of hunting too, and one year I got a pretty good sized bear, and we actually tricked my stepdaughter into thinking it was beef for about 2 weeks until we told her. But we didn't buy red meat from September to about April.
Nice.
So if we wanted any meat, we just got, any meat at the store. It was just like chicken or pork. But you can do a lot with bear. I mean, if it's done right, it's really good. So there's a lot of like pot roasts and meat sauces and like lasagnas or meatballs or meatloaf. You have to cook it like pork though. You can't have it like rare. Bears can carry trichinosis, which is also why you have to cook pork all the way through. So,
I've heard bear's really good. So
it is.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. I have it hanging in my office, so it's draws a lot of attention.
So is there any plans of like ranching or like farming your own like meat source, or is it going to be primarily hunting for your meat source, like for your protein on your ranch?
Yeah, I mean we definitely go to the store like average people, but I don't think we're really gonna proceed down the road of any food animals other than the chickens that we have. And good laying chickens aren't really good eating chickens.
Right.
They're great snake food, but not really good human food. My wife, she's actually she's a veterinarian. She went to school and started her practice with food animals or livestock, but she went into small animals, and I don't think she has any interest in getting cows or anything like that. There's plenty of cows around us, and I mean technically our goats are meat goats, but I don't think my daughter would be real thrilled if Daisy showed up as lamb chops.
What else do you hunt? Do you have elk there? I gotta find this for that meat. I really like elk.
I got some elk meat.
Fantastic. So, do you guys hunt that often?
Yep. Every chance we get, I have some elk in the freezer actually. So elk, deer, antelope. Moose is getting a lot more common in Colorado. Unfortunately, Colorado is getting pretty essentially overpopulated with hunters, depending on where you go. But if you go on a lot of public land, there's sorry, I was just reading that comment. You can run into a lot of other hunters, but if you do it right and you kind of know where you want to go, you can, for the most part, avoid too much crossover. Thanks for that comment, though. The Barred Rock chickens. I do want to get some turkeys, though. So I think turkeys would be pretty cool. I want ducks too. I love duck hunting. I want some ducks to just throw in the pond. Duck eggs are really good, but my wife says no ducks. So.
Oh, I love ducks.
I love duck too.
Oh, not to, like food wise. I just love ducks. I think they're cool animals, but
I think they taste good.
Yeah, they do taste good, and I agree. They're beautiful, and man, they can fly fast. But I really enjoy duck hunting, and actually we do get ducks that migrate through, and I don't hunt any of the animals on our property. So if there's some ducks or geese in our pond, it's just more of like a enjoy them while they're passing through. So I don't go grab the shotgun and run down there.
Are you allowed to do that out there though? Like if they're on your property, are you allowed to hunt them in Colorado?
Oh yeah. Well, as long as you are in season. So with ducks and migratory birds, you have to have a couple different tags and stamps. So there's like the federal migratory bird stamp, there's the Colorado bird stamp and small games license, and there's a few things you have to have. And then you can't shoot them with lead shot because they're migratory. So if they get lead shot in them and they like die in another water source, you're introducing lead. So you have to use steel, copper, or bismuth shot.
Okay, I think it's the same. I think that's the same out here.
Yeah,
it's the same in Indiana. I used to shoot them.
Yeah, we do have some pheasant, and I mean pheasant's like halfway between a chicken and a turkey.
It's delicious.
Sage grouse, I got mountain sage or mountain grouse. That's actually probably the best bird there is. It tastes like Thanksgiving turkey, and it's it doesn't really dry out. So when we go elk hunting in the mountains, it's the same season as the grouse, and so we usually keep one arrow with what they call a field tip, which is basically just a target arrow. And so if you see a grouse, you can usually take it. So you can have an elk and a bird, or a couple birds.
Okay. So I'm assuming you do archery.
I do everything. So Colorado has a lottery system and an ABC tag. You can only have one A, but you can have an A and a B, an A and a C. So essentially you could have two tags, but only one A. So it depends where that is, what you're hunting, like whether you're hunting a bull or a cow, what season it is, where it is. But there's four rifle seasons. And then there's archery, which is all of September. And right around the middle of September is black powder. So like the muskets or muzzle loaders, which nowadays are pretty advanced. They're not exactly the flintlocks anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty nuts.
That's a hell of a life, man.
Hell yeah.
My wife says I'm not allowed to have any more hobbies.
Yeah, your hands are pretty full there, I would imagine.
Well, it's awesome that you have retics too, man. How did you get into them?
So, every time I went to a show or zoo or anything, it was always just like all I wanted to see was retics. And I mean, I probably annoyed every vendor there was that had retics. And I was just reading Reptile Hutch, his comment.
There you go. Dropping knowledge tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. And so, I don't really go into anything half-assed, and I knew if there wouldn't be just one snake, and so if I got a retic, it would have been just one, and that was not an option. So, honestly, the first person that I talked to about super dwarfs was Garrett. I was just kind of Googling it, and his number came up back when he was a one-man show, and he was actually at Pomona when I called him, and he just stopped and answered all my questions, and that was great. And I've met so many people in the community, and have been able to be mentored by a lot of people, Garrett, Paul, and I've been able to learn a lot. And every chance I get, listen to podcasts and interviews, and like short little videos, longer videos, talk to breeders. So yeah, I've been able to learn a lot through some trial and error. Just kind of reading my own snakes, and already having the experience with reading a lot of animal body language and preferences and behaviors, and kind of getting to transfer that over to the snake world. And then, I really enjoy being able to share the breeding that I've done. Bill and I have done some trades of some of my
Oh,
You guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, get to go to shows, talk to a lot of people about them. And, some people are like, are these skinny ball pythons? And, some people are like, oh, these are going to be too big. And then you can talk to them and say, retics are, they're the longest snake in the world, but this helps control the size a little bit. I mean, they're not going to be a tiny snake. They're not going to be ball python length, but they're going to be generally lighter. Females are going to be bigger, but depending on the lineage, how much of localities you have, it's going to make it much more manageable. And I'll bring my snakes to shows and show them, like, this is the male, this is the female. I try not to let people handle them. I'm just too afraid of mites and diseases, and also having a veterinarian wife. She's like, you have too much invested in this. You better not bring home a disease. But yeah, it's, I think it's a great community. I know it's, not perfect, and there's some tensions here and there, but, I think everyone, for the most part, even though there's a degree of competition, everyone's willing to, lend some knowledge, help someone else along the way, because, I don't know why. It goes a long way, though. So, and I think you tend to focus on the people that help you. You trust them more, and so if you're looking for a different snake, or you're looking for a trade, or you're looking for your next investment snake, you're going to look to them first. And I think it's a really good partnership.
So if I'm understanding that correct, you're vending shows or you're attending shows?
Vending. So, like, all America, I go to, in Colorado, there's 3 main ones. There's Show Me Snakes, Repticon, and All American. All American's kind of become the big one. So I usually go to that one, and they're starting to expand across the country. I know they have some in Virginia, North Carolina,
Arizona,
Kansas. Oh, do they have one in Arizona now?
Yeah, we'll be vending their next one, actually.
Okay, great. Yeah, they're good people. The guy who runs it, he and his wife, it's kind of a family operation, and they're friends. I think they're mainly ball python breeders, but they have some really nice ball pythons. But they understand the community, and they actually I think they really stayed loyal to their original vendors. I started vending at their first shows in Colorado. I kind of knew them before, but you kind of get preference, and so there's he tells me there's a huge waiting list for people from Texas and other couple states away that want to get into the show and vend, and it's really great that he gives us preference. But some of the plants, though, too. I mean, I think them incorporating it into the exotic plant show, that brings it to a different level, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a cool, fun show.
We vended their last one, the 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're vending the next one too, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we're signed up. I think we are.
I thought we did, yeah.
Yeah, we're all signed up for it. Yeah, we're vending the next one. But we got to know those guys, and they are very nice people. I've got a show out here myself, and we vended their show and got to know them, and they do a reciprocal flyer with us. We advertise their show at our show, and they advertise ours at theirs, and just with flyers set out. But it's just they're just good people. Everything that I've witnessed, and you guys got to know them too. You liked them; they were good.
Right. Yeah. Nick Sloan. That's his name. He's the guy that runs it, Nick. He's
and then Troy helps him out too, right? Troy Schroeder?
Yeah, Troy is who I was talking to mostly, yeah. But I did meet Nick, yeah.
Have you ever traveled outside of Arizona or outside of Colorado to do a show?
No, I haven't. I've thought about doing the Kansas one, but I'm a little nervous about, like, you know, all the heat, and I don't know. I haven't really had the time or the desire. I might do it on the next one. Maybe check out Kansas. Salt Lake's not too far from us, but Kansas would probably be the closest one. I know Wyoming actually has one in Cheyenne, and that's about 3 hours from us. So I've thought about that one, but I just have never been able to just make that work with my schedule. So, but that's definitely one I'll look to in the future. I don't think New Mexico has any really big shows. But you know, other than that, I mean, if we drive to Texas or Arizona, I mean, those are probably the next biggest states with shows. Maybe Oklahoma, but that's a 12+ hour drive. So I'm just a little bit worried about the stress on the snakes, which it'll probably be fine. I just, you know, you just got to do it if you're gonna do it, and not sure about it yet. I mean, I've traveled across the country with horses many times, and you know, it's probably harder to take care of horses across the country. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Bro, all you got to do is make sure that they're secured and
fucking horses are outside. Those snakes are going to be inside the... You're fine. They're fine. You're fine.
Not pulling a fucking trailer with them inside? Like, dude, that's crazy work.
Just strap them to the roof of the car. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I just have to pull the Band-Aid off and do that. So I'll try the All-American in Kansas. That was one that I was looking at. That one looked pretty fun. And then that Wyoming one would be an easy hike to get to. So,
well, I'll say as someone that moved a pretty decent sized reptile collection from Arizona to Texas, and I drove them there, they were the least of my concern. Out of everything I moved, they were the least of my worries. My dogs and my tortoise were probably a bigger stress, and the kids, but those were the biggest stress. The snakes actually did remarkably well. So, and the Ackies, like all my lizards and snakes did really good. So there wasn't even a stress or a worry at all.
Okay, what kind of lizards do you keep?
I have a Kimberly monitor, and then I had a few Ackie monitors, and then some Leachianus geckos.
Nice.
Yeah. The tortoise was the absolute worst.
Really?
They're the worst. And no matter, as soon as you put them in a car, they shit or piss immediately. So,
like, you know what?
If you're gonna move a tortoise, put it in a tub. But man, that's gonna be one smelly drive.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. When I was younger, I kept a lot of turtles, especially like water turtles and box turtles. Mm-hmm. Man, those things. I kept them in my room. Man, I lived in the jungle. It was.
Yeah. No, she was wild. She spent the night in the bathtub. Yeah, she did.
That's fair.
Funny.
Yeah, it would going into the hotel with her, the 4 dogs, and the kids and everything in the middle of the night was hilarious.
You couldn't just drive it straight through?
Dude, 16 hours with my wife and kids? No way.
How many hours did we do, Dave?
And 4 dogs? No way.
It was a lot. It was over 24.
We did over 24 straight from Indiana to Arizona.
Dude, it was wild. But the cool thing was like the temperature at night was like perfect, so I was able to leave the reptiles like in the car because they didn't get too cold or too hot or anything. We got up super early and took off. And we were also towing a car.
Yeah, the drive that we did from here to Colorado last year was fucking miserable. That was only 13 hours.
like we did the Phoenix to Vernal, Utah, which is like a 14-hour drive. We did that. Like we'll do that in one shot, but when you're moving that, like all that stuff, the animals and having to stop all the times that you do and stuff, you can only go do so much.
Yeah, damn kids be driving you up the wall, fucking animals moving around, tortoises taking a shit, not stop to.
Yeah, the dogs. God, the dogs.
I just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah, same. No, I did too. I'm of that mindset, but yeah, no, we definitely we just did one stop though. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, they were fine. That was the easy part.
Good, that's good.
Jesse, have you spent your whole life in Colorado?
So my family and I moved here when I was about 4, 5. So I grew up here, went to high school here, and then I went to Maryland for part of college, and then New Mexico for second half of college. Ended up getting a master's. I was still here in Colorado. I was actually I wrestled my whole life and through college. I was getting my master's at the University of Denver.
There you go, brother.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
At the University of Denver, I was getting my master's while I was coaching at CSU Pueblo, so not too far from where Levi came from. I was going to night school and then coaching during the day. And then I ended up going to law school, went to a school in Minnesota for my first year, and then finished out at the University of Wyoming and worked in Wyoming for a little bit, and then came back here.
Dude, this guy might be my new favorite breeder. He's a fellow wrestler. I love it.
Oh, did you wrestle?
Yeah, I've been wrestling since I was 7. Yeah, I'm a wrestler. Yeah.
There's some good wrestlers that came out of Arizona. Henry Cejudo, he came out of Arizona, and then he was wrestling on a good friend of mine's team, a school that's basically a neighboring school. But I mean, he was the youngest Olympic champion in the United States. And then actually, is it Sunnyside? Yeah, Sunnyside is that in Phoenix?
No, Sunnyside is a Tucson school. I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Tucson.
No, they're legendary. They have multiple 4-time state champions. Like kids that win state freshman year through senior year, they're pretty nasty. They've been gnarly since my brother was wrestling and stuff, which is when I started. But yeah.
Yeah, and they put some good kids in college with some and turned out to be NCAA champions. Like Roman Bravo Young, he came from Sunnyside. He wrestled at Penn State and won national championships, and he's competing at the international level now. He's got some tough guys in his weight class, like Spencer Lee and a few other guys. But yeah, he was pretty legendary.
Yeah, my brother went and wrestled at Lock Haven.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania. Yeah, he had to go the JUCO route and was a JUCO All-American. I think he got like second in nationals there, and then went and wrestled at Lock Haven.
Nice.
But yeah, we have big wrestling family on my side of things.
Yeah. When I was at New Mexico wrestling, we were in Arizona a lot. Actually, we wrestled like Grand Canyon, Embry-Riddle. I mean, those are the main, and then Arizona State.
Yeah,
so we were in Arizona a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is super cool.
That's badass. So you're a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ask him the question, Levi. Ask him the question, Levi.
Oh, I wasn't even going to go there with that. I was going to ask.
Oh, I could have sworn you were going to go there.
But no, let's fucking go there. All right. So what's it going to fucking take to overturn the Lacey Act as far as importing reticulated pythons? Is that even in your scope of practice?
Oh my God.
No, but it should be because I think about that all the time. No, I mean, I have two huge frustrations with law that pertains to reptiles. One's Colorado and the venomous and like no venomous. Like technically you can't even have hognose snakes because they're rear fang venomous. And then the Lacey had the restriction on imports. I have some friends from Europe that had some amazing retics that they were just drop of a hat ready to send. Some beautiful super dwarfs, and that was not an option. I thought about every possible way, like, oh, this is a coastal python or, white-lip python. But, yeah, it's, you're going to basically have to ask Congress to relinquish some sort of power. And, it's not very common that once the government takes power, they release it. So, I'd assume you have to have it overturned. Either that or bring it to the Supreme Court and have it declared unconstitutional. But I don't think it's unconstitutional.
So it's easy work.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
either that or we just get rid of all the legislators, all the congressmen and senators, and get a whole bunch of new ones and get a bunch of
even easier master plan.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I like that idea. Fucking it. What's really disappointing is like, okay, so you're a lawyer and a reptile keeper, so like you'll have like the best taste of this. You listen to some of these lawmakers that pushed the Lacey Act and did what they did, and they don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about. They jump on Instagram, see a 30-second reel, and all of a sudden they're a fucking expert. Like, dude, we sit here and bicker with each other about like, oh, well, this is misinformation and that's misinformation and blah, 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 and have all these bickering and fighting matches with each other when we both are pretty well educated in what we do. Then you got this idiot that sits in an office that has never seen a snake in his life that's pushing legislation on the animal that doesn't know the difference between a garter snake and a reticulated python.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No one ever said that senators and congressmen are experts in the laws that they create. That's why lobbyists make so much damn money, is they wine them and dine them and swindle them into doing whatever they want. I don't even know what they get from all the restriction for importation. Retics are very popular in the skin trade, and maybe they thought it was something with that, or the Burmese python issue in Florida. And most people say it's people they don't even know anything about reptiles. They say people are they get a baby snake and then they flush it down the toilet when they think it's getting too big, and then it goes and overpopulates the Everglades, and then that's actually not at all how that happened. And so it's unfortunate that the facility that was just totally trashed and lost all those snakes during Hurricane Andrew happened, but it's not people just letting pets go. And the big keepers that have 5, 10 plus snakes, they're not just dumping their collections into the forest and swamps and stuff. That's a lot of money that they have that they're not going to just throw away like that. And I think it's just a complete and total misunderstanding. I think reptile community faces that. I think firearm community faces that. And, there's going to be people that give the people that do follow the rules and regulations bad names. And unfortunately, we have to suffer for other people's either mistakes or bad acts. So.
No, that's facts. And what's crazy is you go back and you listen to the stories of like what happened with that facility in Florida, right? And then you look at a lot of these invasive outbreaks too, and it's a common trend where FWC was alerted to the potential issue before the facility even went down. And oh no, it's not possible. It's not possible. And the keeper was like, yes, it is possible. And then when the shit happened, nobody wanted to fucking help. Nobody wanted to go out and find him. It's not like the door got left open and they just ran out the door. It was a fucking natural disaster. Then the Tegu issue in North Carolina or South Carolina, I can't remember which one it was. That one was also brought to Game and Fish of North Carolina or South Carolina, and they didn't do shit about it. it's like before they became big issues, you guys were alerted to it and made aware, but you guys didn't want to fucking do anything about it. But then you turn around and pass legislation like it's some big fucking issue that's been going on longer than you can remember. But in all actuality, you guys knew before it became a massive issue and didn't do anything about it. Like, make that make sense. This is like the gaming fish, the people that are in charge of this stuff that could have done something about it before it became as big of a deal, and they did nothing about it.
Yeah, and it's never the government's fault when stuff like that happens, but they have no problem euthanizing the incorrect animal when they are raiding people's houses and destroying their collections.
Yep, can't tell the difference between a retic and a boa, but you're going to tell us what we can and can't keep. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the more feasible battle, is like overturning certain bans and stuff like that. That's probably a more realistic battle. I don't know. You can chime in as the lawyer here than it would be to overturn a Lacey Act.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially overturning something like the Lacey Act is going to take an act of God. I mean, it's really unfortunate. I mean, reptiles, whether it be snakes, monitors, frogs, geckos, lizards, it's really unfortunate that we get the stigmatism of people that don't understand it, that are afraid of it, and it's essentially we're limited to the snakes and the genes that we have in our country right now. I mean, sure, there's going to be snakes that come in here and there, but if something comes in that doesn't exist here, everyone's going to kind of know that that's an illegal. It came from an illegal import. But
it's funny, everyone that knows what the fuck they're looking at and what those snakes are and stuff knows that they're illegally brought in, but the government and the officials and the people that are making these laws, banning it and saying that it's illegal, have no fucking clue. They don't pay any attention or wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even care.
No.
I can probably bring up three or four morphs that are here that definitely shouldn't be here, that definitely were questionably brought in, and no one cares. Everyone knows it, but no one cares. No one's done anything about it.
And I think that's a benefit that we have, is that they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're talking about, so we can get away with it to at least that extent,
Yeah, it's frustrating we can get away with that, but then they make bans and other shit illegal. But I think the bans are a little bit easier to overturn, because I feel like if the right person can make the right argument of like destroying personal liberties of like what I can keep and can't keep or whatever. I mean, there's got to be some more there, something in the recipe to be argued, where the Lacey Act, like you said, that's a law that's got to be overturned, or a new law has got to replace it.
Yeah, and with a lot of laws, it's we see the big picture thing, but then there's layers underneath that we don't know. Like, so legislators will slip things into acts to get things passed, and so there will be something. The Lacey Act is going to have all this stuff, but it might have a couple of things that doesn't have anything to do with reptiles, but it's going to have something to do with like taxes or some backdoor money with someone very powerful that funds some big politician's campaign or whatever, and that's going to be the thorn in the side that's going to prevent anything good from happening. I will say though, having social media and YouTube and being able to educate people and grow the community, that might be our best bet, because the kids that are growing up now with growing passions and reptiles and stuff, they're the ones that are going to be voting for the politicians coming up. They're the ones that are going to be the politicians. So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really have any desire to jump into politics right now. But,
it's a little bit early, but I was
5-10 years
2028 is my year. It's a little bit early. I wasn't ready yet. But yeah.
After shaving the beard.
I guess this is it. It's official. I'm coming on. I didn't tell anyone about it, but yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm just fucking around, dude.
Oh, I was like, I'm so fucking lost right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's basically saying I'm running for president in 2028, but I don't even think I will be old enough. Okay, yeah, no, that still works. That still works, but no, yeah, that's it's depressing. I always thought like the compromise in the Lacey Act would be like a bereavement period or like a lottery like permit type system that they do for like hunting for like apply for a lottery to be a person that gets to import new blood, and you can only, and like a permit like for hunting or whatever, you're only allowed a certain number to come in.
Yeah, I think that's a great alternative. But I don't think reasonableness and
No.
logic was used to create these laws. So, I mean,
I passed the background check, not the lie detector test. Different.
You brought up a great point of those backdoor fucking bullshit things they slide into these acts and things like that. I haven't even thought about that until now. So,
well, yeah, I mean, that's like the big thing with the Lacey Act over the last few years is they always kept trying to tack on more shit to the Lacey Act in other bills.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a great thing that USARC is doing is bringing our attention to that and making sure that or providing as much of a net as possible to catch these little things before it's too late.
So you're a part of USARC, right?
I don't know if I've renewed my membership. I need to. I haven't even looked at my tax stuff, man. The start of this year is so busy.
You follow some of the USARC stuff. Did you happen to get the email or anything from them? Like, I think it was what was that a couple months ago or something? Maybe within the last couple months, it was something about albino species and the banned species possibly being okay, like leucistic and albino species of the banned species. I didn't really understand because it's all in legal jargon, and I figured if you had read it, maybe you could translate it to fucking simpleton speak.
I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to look back and see if I can find it. I mean, that'd be great. Man, I mean, I was in trial all day today. I've had more trials in the last since the start of this year until now. I was worried that I wouldn't even be able to make this podcast.
Oh shit!
For a little bit, but I made it. But man, yeah, I've fallen behind on that. I've fallen behind on keeping everything up with all my other real life unfortunate responsibilities that I have to do, taxes and everything else. But I'll have to look into that. I mean, that'd be great if they start opening the door to little exceptions like that.
Yeah, because it's almost a slippery slope in the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that if they want to, turn that seesaw back the other way, and we start going back and fixing things that they screwed up in the first place. That'd be great. That is interesting though, that they'll start allowing leucistic and albinos as banned species.
That's why I wanted you to read it, because the way how they word shit sometimes, you're just kind of like, what did that actually say? So
yeah.
If I had it handy, I would send it to someone that could send it to you pretty quickly, but I don't have it handy.
Well, we're talking. I'm going to see if I can't find something on it.
Yeah, because I think it was they had set up some commission with the FWC and reptile keepers in Florida. They set up not a commission, but maybe some sort of group for them to collab on or work together with to move forward. And I thought they had said something about leucistic and albino species and the banned species being good to go. Or not good to go, but was on the table of the things that they were talking about. Maybe I should frame it that way.
Got it. And would that be in terms of banned species, or you're talking retics and
so that's the thing, because it's all really legalese and stuff, but it said all banned species. So one would assume retics, even berms.
Oh, okay. I see. I see something about it. So, all right. So there is a station. So it
Translate
looks
it
like
for
their
me.
argument. Okay. It looks like there's a safety and ecological rationale argument that USARC is trying to do. They're arguing that albinos and highly colored morph animals are not ecologically dangerous because their bright coloration makes them unsuitable for survival in the wild, reducing risks of them becoming established as invasive species.
Wow.
So that makes sense. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I knew that when that thing came across. I'm like, this seems like a bigger deal that no one's talking about.
yeah, and they've also addressed blanket bans. So they're trying to oppose blanket bans because like if you blanket an entire species like iguanas or snakes, I mean there's so many species that are so different from one another that it's just it just doesn't make sense to classify them together.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to look for the more specific stuff. But I mean that makes sense. It'd be great if they could really gain some ground on that argument that the brighter colored species that are not typically found in the wild, there should be an exception for them because they would not survive the wild. But to that point though, most states I don't think would be suitable for a lot of those imported animals. I mean, I think the Southeast, that might be it. There would need to be a lot of adaptation to climates that they're not built for. I mean, a retic wouldn't do very well in Arizona. It's too dry. Anything north of there, I mean, even Flagstaff gets insanely cold sometimes. If a cold spell hit, they'd be dead. I mean, they don't know what to do. They would not have enough foundation to be able to establish a breeding population. I mean, the Everglades is an exception, but like, look what happened a week ago when that cold spell came through. I mean, there's dead iguanas everywhere. So,
yeah, I mean, a lot of people were arguing like the retics couldn't really even establish out in Florida because their incubation period is too long and doesn't work with the Florida environment. So really, like the only things that were truly invasive and could establish were the berms and the African rocks that ended up, I think, hybridizing, or integrating.
Right, and they're there. Yeah, and, yeah, that's a great point. I mean, retics, they're found mainly in caves, and they can hide their eggs away, and that long incubation period. I mean, yeah, there's not a whole lot of caves that I know of in Florida, but I don't spend a lot of time there. Yeah. But I think there's other species that would be more concerning to, if that is actually a concern, than retics. But
yeah. Well, hopefully it works and goes through, because that would really help out a lot of people. I mean, think about how many different reptile businesses, companies, breeders, and everything that went under, and how many animals that we have lost out on because of these stupid bans in Florida, where people were able to keep them, keep these certain species much better than anyone else could and breed them, so it's pretty frustrating.
Exactly.
Agreed. Right, boys. I think we're gonna end it on that note.
Perfect.
Fuck the government and their stupid bans. It's been real, Jesse. Thank you for coming on tonight. It's been awesome to hear the trio of awesome things that you do between the farm, legality, and keeping retics.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk
See you all later.